So I'm going to be running through some pre-market analysis today on NQ and ES. So on NQ here, we're in some interesting positions on high time frames. Now with the high time frames, the only big bearish imbalance that hasn't been filled in is this one. Now you can see obviously there's one right here, but it's basically been filled in all the way, so it's kind of irrelevant. Yeah, that one literally already got filled in. And then obviously we have some up here, and then obviously we have this final imbalance up here that I want to see get filled. On the higher time frame, so 4 hour bearish, hourly more or less bearish. So ideally you'd look for shorts at these highs. So we have this high right here, London session highs, and then we have this bearish order block right here as well. So that would be a pretty good setup. And then we also have the opposing way down here with these lows and this bearish order block located right here. Moving over to ES, obviously is going to be more or less the same story. We have London session highs located right here, along with this bearish order block as well. This has some, I think, like bigger imbalances definitely than NQ. We have these highs right here. We have this fair value, this bearish fair value gap that got I got filled in all the way yesterday or during London session today. So this imbalance is filled. So I would more or less look for shorts after we filled that in. So we have obviously those highs right there located here, and this bearish order block located here as well. With the news today, we do have some high impact news. However, we do have consumer confidence at 10 a.m., which is kind of a cuck time. So we'll see how PA ends up being. And I know tomorrow's price action is just going to be miserable with the Fed funds rate coming out. So it'll be interesting to see how price action kind of develops before it, and then rather it's going to be bullish or bearish during the FOMC meetings, because the Fed funds rate really does cuck the entire market pretty much for the entire day, because the morning session just gets scared. So the morning session will literally just look like this, like the entirety of the day. The entire morning session tomorrow will just look like this. Like it'll just be almost like kind of like a scared market in a way, just because that Fed funds rate is going to manipulate the market like no other. So would honestly look for shorts today, but with a high impact news at 10, I don't trade with high impact news past 9:30. I don't mean like if there's any red folder past 9:30. Like if this was just a regular FOMC statement at 2, then I would trade because it's at 2 o'clock. It's not really going to move the market. But Fed funds rate is a massive red folder. That is a big red folder. So that is going to affect the market significantly, right? So we got to make sure that you look at Forex Factory before you trade. That is super important. I always post that on my TikToks when I post like news recaps for the week, like what's coming up. Super important that you understand that when news is what it is, and is it going to impact your trading strategy? Is it going to impact your trading plan? Which in this case today is going to. Tomorrow is just don't even trade, please. I'm going to log out of my demo account or my eval account tomorrow for sure, because that's just not happening. But we'll see what happens today. Very interested to see how price action develops. Obviously, we are significantly closer to London session lows than we are to London session highs. So we'll see how that develops. I'm just going to get rid of this order block actually. And then obviously we have more or less the same setup down here as well. So we'll see how these end up playing out. But looks like we're approaching this low significantly quicker than we are these highs. So we'll see how this ends up playing out. ES doesn't really have a definitive London session low. It's kind of weird, just with how it is. I don't exactly know why. I'll probably just mark this out for now. But yeah, we'll see how this ends up playing out between the two. So bullish on both, just because we do have some bearish imbalance that needs to get filled in all the way up here. I don't think we're going to take out these highs. We do have this internal high as well, this high time frame internal high. So just keeping an eye out on everything. But with that high impact news at 10 kind of cucks. Kind of sucks. So That's pre-market analysis. I didn't do a trade recap yesterday because price action was actually so miserable that I didn't even make a trade recap. If we go on like the 5 minute yesterday, we see. Oh, I still got my SMT here. We see yesterday that we had big moves, chop, big move, chop, big move, chop. Right, like this is miserable right here. But yeah, it just was not good yesterday. You can even see it on the 1 minute too. I mean, it was just nothing was going on. I mean, you could have caught this. Probably would have been pretty good if you were looking bullish. But after you see this for however long that is, 10 minutes. I mean, it's like I don't even want to look at the chart anymore if it's just gonna look like this. So, and then especially after market open, we get this big move in consolidation. Usually, when there's a big move and then just full consolidation like this for such an extended period of time, like this, I don't even trade. And I already mentally wasn't going to trade yesterday, just with how drastic the move was overnight. We saw, I mean, obviously, when you see a move this big, uh, with it bottoming out here, I mean, like, what even is that? Like, how do you trade that? Like, especially after that big move, like if there's a move this drastic, there's just nothing New York session can do to like counter it in a way, if you think of it like that. So that's it for pre-market analysis. I'll do a trade recap today actually. If I'm not going to be taking a trade, but you get what I mean.